And Rufus Wainwright joins us now from his home in Montreal. Congratulations, Rufus. This is wonderful news. Tell me about the moment that pen hit the paper and you signed the contract in L.A.
Well, I was at Geffen Records, which is on Sunset Boulevard, and I was there with my lawyer and Lenny Waronker, who was the one who brought me down. And it was very nonchalant, really. I mean, I'd just been in the studio for 3 days, so I had some new tracks to play. So I came in and I said, okay, I'll sign the contract and then you can listen to the tracks. And then I signed and then they listened and they loved it and it was great.
Yeah, but what was your heart doing?
Well, I'd had, about 5 or 6 nightmares about it previously, so I'd sort of lived the entire scope of, all that could go wrong. So there was a moment of palpitation, but then it was over. I mean, I was ready. I was ready, so I wasn't that worried. A little sad, but it was cool too.
Tell me how it all came about, though, this sort of living the dream.
Well, it came about because I played all summer, and in the spring, just once a week. That was my goal. I'm going to play once a week, no matter where. I played like, bars and little, basic, tiny little rooms and stuff. And I just played once a week and got a little bit of a crowd together that liked it, and then made a tape and just sent it out. And I mean, basically, I spent most of my time on the songwriting beforehand, and then I just decided to throw myself out there, and then somebody caught it. Someone liked it, so.
Now, your father, Loudon, as we mentioned, is also a singer-songwriter. Yeah. I guess his advice to you was just do it and you'll get better.
Yeah, he's real, that's his motto for sure. He tours like, 52 days of the year, or does like 52 shows a year, and is always working and stuff, and so, yeah, he taught me that.
How much of an influence, Rufus, was your father and your mom, of course, Kate McGarrigle, a musician in her own right?
Yeah, well, my dad, pretty big influence. I kind of have his voice. I sing a lot like him, except I sing a bit lower.
Yes.
I look a bit like him, and I've just started playing the guitar, which when I start performing, one of the things that I realize is that playing piano is great, but it's a very sort of intimate thing between you and the instrument. But but watching my dad play guitar for many years, I decided to try that as well, though I'd already stayed away from it. But when I start performing, I realize how great of an instrument it is for that, because you can face the audience, and so he taught me that. He taught me a lot about performing, but I didn't see him much, but he's a great guy to watch on stage.
You haven't talked about Mom's influence.
Oh, Mom is my whatever.
You're a hero?
Empress. No, I grew up with her, so she started me on piano lessons when I was 6, and apparently started teaching me harmonies and stuff when I was 5, and I always made me sing for all the friends and family, and yeah, we're a couple.
Now, my dad is a principal, so I grew up always having to get, good marks at school. Yeah. Having a mom and dad who are musicians, was there a lot of pressure for you, Rufus, to excel?
Well, there was a lot of pressure to be good, because, I mean, one thing that's great about the McGarrigle sisters is that, I mean, though they're not terribly famous, I mean, they're famous, but they're more respected than famous.
Yes.
And so, I mean, it was more about quality, like performing, make sure it sounds good and looks good and stuff, instead of, making money at it or whatever. Like, she did take time to work it out.
But speaking of fame, what is your mom's reaction now that you have a deal?
She was, well, for a couple of weeks, she was completely crazy and flustered all the time, and like, I can't believe it. Because it's interesting, because Lenny Waronker, actually, the guy who called me up, was the same person that called her up 20 years ago for her record deal. Though he wasn't directly connected to her, but he was the, then a big guy too, whatever. So she was very excited. She relived a lot of things.
There must be a real sense of pride from your mom and dad as well.
Yeah, I think so, but I think mostly relief that I'm just not, that I'm not gonna, that I'm gonna be, at least for a few years, self-supporting myself and not always, because I spend a lot of time playing the piano and, waking up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and, hanging around in my bathrobe all day. And that's a little frightening, I think, for some parents. But obviously it's come to something, all that laziness. But so I think they're happy about that, and now I can sleep in as late as I want.
Well, now your life is going to change drastically. How do you see that sort of taking shape?
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's going to change. I mean, I don't think it'll change here much, but I mean, I think it'll more change drastically in the sense that I will be living for a while in major American cities.
Yeah, you're going to New York.
I'm going to go to New York, and I'm probably going to do some shows in London, like go for a week to London or to Paris and do shows there. I mean, I think it'll change more that I'll be working a lot more and sort of have to, keep kind of a clear head. I've given up some of that, whatever, youthful self-destructiveness.
Oh,
but maybe
no.
not. We'll see. I'm saying that right now.
Final question for you, Rufus. Your first CD, tell us what we can expect and when we can expect it.
Well, I plan to start recording it in May. That's my plan, not for sure, and hopefully it'll come out by the after summer, like probably for Christmas. And it's just going to be all of my original songs, and I can, and it's, I'm going to basically have, I don't have carte blanche or anything silly like that, but I'm going to go into the studio and experiment. And it might be totally different. I might sound, like Cyndi Lauper or something. I don't know. It might just totally change. But it's going to be an adventure for sure in the studio.
That adventure sounds like it will help you to grow as a person.
Oh, well, yeah, I hope so. Or else it'll just make me paranoid.
I wish you the best.
I hate everybody. Thank you very much.